We're here at the J.P. Morgan Healthcare Conference in San Francisco, and joining me in the studio this evening is Rick Gonzalez. He is the CEO of Navidea. Rick, it's good to see you.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, I understand that you're really focused around precision medicine. And could you start by just letting our viewers know exactly what precision medicine is?
Yeah, so precision medicine is where you identify a target and deliver a payload with a particular purpose. That payload could be for diagnostic purposes or it could be for therapeutic purposes, but it's getting a specific payload to a specific target to have an intended effect.
And what specifically is your company focused on?
So at Navidea, we focus on the development of products that target a dysfunction of the immune system. In the immune system in presence of disease, there's a particular cell called the macrophage, which becomes overactivated and starts acting in favor of disease rather than against it. It presents a very specific target with the intention of either visualizing disease and helping physicians diagnose, or actually treating disease and helping physicians improve patient outcomes.
So are you both on the diagnostic and treatment side?
Currently, we have an approved product in the diagnostic side, but we certainly are on the road to turn that same targeting platform that targets these bat cells in the immune system into a therapeutic intent down the road.
Now, Rick, I know on the therapeutic side, I've talked to a lot of CEOs this afternoon bringing products to market, and the FDA is really fast-tracking a lot of these therapies, saving lives and doing a lot of good work. On the diagnostic side, are we fast-tracking some of the diagnostic tools? I guess my question is the diagnostic keeping up with treatment?
In some cases, it is, and we have had the fortune of having a very good collaborative effort with the agency, understanding that the immunodiagnostic that Lymphozyg is, which was approved in the US in 2013, actually we have had a great collaborative effort with the agency to expand its diagnostic uses beyond cancer. There's a lot of diseases that these macrophages or bad immune cells play an active role in: cancer, immune diseases, infectious disease, and inflammatory diseases. So there's a very, very defined interest by the agency, which we share, and it is to enable physicians to diagnose disease earlier, to be able to have a therapeutic intervention earlier, hopefully improving outcomes.
Yeah, so early diagnosis, right? We can diagnose earlier, we can put treatment plans in place, we can save patients, but I'm very interested in what you're talking about here in terms of the caregiver, because the caregiver is somewhat the unsung hero in the healthcare equation, right? And you've taken a real hard focus and put it in your mission statement that you're not just about the patient, you're about the caregiver, you're about the family. What kinds of things are you doing to kind of tie that all together?
Yeah, so for me, it's a personal mission. It's a passion I've always carried from my very early days. I must share with you that my father in 1971 was diagnosed with oral cavity cancer. He underwent the treatments that were available at the time, and what we have seen is that, particularly in the case of Navidea, we have had advancements in that space. So fast forward in time, he was successful. He overcame and he defeated cancer, and still these many years later is enjoying a very productive life. However, the advancements that we were able to provide would have spared him of the experience of enduring the treatments to get to a positive outcome. So when we look at in cancer particularly, there's a treatment team. This treatment team includes the patient and their caregivers. And I believe, and we pursue the fact that information is power, and this empowerment is incredibly important for the treatment paradigms that are going to be presented, treatment options that will be taken to address the particular issue the patient's enduring.
Yeah, so Rick, I agree with you. Information is power. With the internet and social media, patients are becoming more and more educated around their condition. They're asking more and more questions of their physicians. In a lot of cases, they're self-diagnosing or they're detecting something in their bodies going wrong at a very earlier stage. Talk to me a little about the advocacy groups, because they're really out there supporting patients between the advocacy groups and some of the big foundations. How are you working with those organizations?
Advocacy groups provide a great service, and they're a great source of information. There's different steps in the way that patients take information in and how they use it. In our particular experience, from the moment that a patient is diagnosed with cancer to that surgical intervention, is very chaotic. It happens very quickly. The amount of information out there is limited, and patients are very, very eager to learn what's going on. Do I understand what's happening? Do I understand my options? And we believe that that part of the process is incredibly important, because from diagnosis to surgical management, there's a lot of information. A lot of things happen. They show up, they're diagnosed, they show up, let's go to surgery, take this away, cut it out of me. And there is a process to not only determine the disease itself, but also what other implications or what other information is necessary to stage that and then inform the physicians that are going to be actually treating. So when you look at the overall management, the overall information gathering, there are many, many sources, some credible, some not as credible, some well documented, some based on the science, some are not. I believe that in my experience and having been in the early days of diseases where patients have the ability to shape and change the outcome of a disease, there's a great service that needs to be provided with the right information at the right time so that patients then can be empowered to be an active participant in their own treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rick, I really admire the work that you're doing. Your company is great, and please stay in touch. This has been great, very informative, and like I said, you're one of the few organizations that really, I think, ties it all together with not only the patient, but the family members, the caregivers, and really bringing that all together. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for inviting me.